A few million years later, even places like the pyramids and Mount Rushmore will be eroded completely. Then over 50 million years later, Earth will be completely back to normal with zero proof we ever existed.
You notice the key word he said right there? Normal? Us humans, we just f everything up, bro. What's good, y'all? Welcome back to the Lit Fam. Gang. Now today, bro, we got a channel. It's called Hoodie Guy, bro. Now obviously it's another recommendation by you guys. Make sure you guys go subscribe to Hoodie Guy if you like his content. So far it looks like he's like a fact-telling channel about animals and stuff, which honestly is really interesting to me. As you guys know, we love anything animal wise, react to those type of vids and stuff. So yeah, chat, as you see from his literal channel thing, what is this thing up here called? It says subscribe for more random facts. So obviously we're gonna learn. So little Timmy's, put your still a brain rot down. It's time to learn. All right, this is not a brain rot video. Without further ado, Mr. Grab your popcorn. Let's see. All right, first one says animals that are secretly best friends.
These are 4 animals you didn't know were best friends. First, ravens and wolves work together to hunt, where ravens will fly around looking for prey, then flying back to the wolves, getting their attention and leading them to the animal they saw, waiting for the kill and sharing the meal. Next, hermit crabs.
Damn, that's a WIQ play, but that's for the deer, bro. Bro really getting gained up on before he even knows it. He sees a bird come over him and just like look at him for a second and go back, and he's like, oh, what the heck? That bird was weird. All of a sudden you got a pack of wolves showing up at your door, bro. Like on some backdoor shit. Oh nah.
They saw, waiting for the kill and sharing the meal.
Wow.
Next, hermit crabs and anemone basically team up together to survive.
Hermit crabs are, wait, what is this thing called? Anemone. That's what it's called. I thought it was just testicle looking things.
Basically team up together to survive. Since an anemone can't move fast, the crab will pick it up and equip it on its shell. The anemone helps defend the crab with its stinging tentacles. While the crab gives it much faster transportation and also shares scraps of its food every time it eats.
Hey, that's a mutually benefited relationship right there. The crab gets extra protection, the thing gets extra food, they live happily forever after, man. Let's go. I like that.
Next, coyotes and badgers hunt together.
You know, it's so amazing to me how animals, like, we just see them as animals most of the time, but they're really, you know, functioning mind. I mean, most of them are. Some of them are really dumb, but you know, for the most part, like, for them to have this type of relationship, like, there has to be something complex going on in their mind, right? Knowing that this other species that's not like me is able to help me in some way and honestly be like a friend or, you know, an acquaintance at the very least. But it's amazing to me how they're able to like form these relationships without problems, you know.
Coyotes and badgers hunt together.
Coyotes and badgers.
Since coyotes are better at covering ground and badgers are better underground, the coyote will chase the prey on land, then if it goes under, the badger will take over, leaving the prey with no options or ways to escape, sharing their—
That's so lighthearted right there, you know, just knowing you have no option to escape at all. Hey, you go underground, you're gonna get eaten.
Finally, humans and wild dolphins in Brazil work together to catch fish. The dolphins will find a school of fish and herd them towards the fishermen. When the fish are close, the dolphin will slap the water with its tail, signaling the fishermen to cast the net, causing the fish to scatter and get disorientated, so it's easier for the dolphins to catch, rewarding both of them.
Yeah, that is definitely a reward for both of them, bro. That makes fishing so much easier than just doing it by yourself, for sure. But then it's just like, how do you even form that relationship with the dolphin without it trying to hump you? They're teaming, bro. That's what I would say. No, if I was a deer or any of these animals, bro, I would literally report this. Ain't no way. There's no way this shit's allowed, bro. Nice to see humans everywhere are still working with wild animals. Shit, I mean, most of us are wild animals, so it makes sense. The way we be acting nowadays. Raven and Wolf are the most badass duo. Raven and Wolf? Yeah, I would say they're most badass. It's them. And no, honestly, I would say the badger and the, wait, was it a cheetah? What was it again? Badger and coyote. That's pretty badass too. I'm not gonna lie, bro.
These are 4 animals with the most depressing lives.
Wow, they
depressing. You hatch from an egg, fall into the dirt, and dig straight down with no wings or eyes.
Wait, I think we've learned about the cicada one time. I think. I'm trying to remember, like, but I just don't remember it, but I could have sworn I've, like, something in my head clicks, like cicada and miserable lives definitely clicks.
With no wings or eyes, you wait underground for 13 to 17 years doing nothing but eating and growing. And
are we dead? Oh yeah, that's already hella depressing, bro. Even being under there for 1 day seems depressing. We're talking about almost 2 decades, money.
After all of this waiting, they dig to the surface, live for about 3 weeks, and die. Next is
Okay. What? So they literally live underground for almost 2 decades, come out for the first time, get some fresh air, and only get to see the world and the earth for 3 weeks? Yeah, this gotta be absolutely the worst life ever. Like, what can possibly be worse than this?
Next is the immortal jellyfish. You aimlessly float around the ocean, and when you get sick, injured, or old, you don't die. Instead, you sink to the bottom of the ocean, turn into a blob, and reset back into a baby, stuck in an infinite loop of doing nothing, where it only ends if you get mangled alive by a fish or a crab.
Wait, that's insane. I've never heard of this jellyfish, but it makes sense with the stuff that's down in the abyss, or, you know, the lower parts of the ocean, like we've been learning lately. it makes sense that stuff like this would exist. But I'm just like, I have questions because it's like, okay, do they actually remember or think of anything at all? Because what happens during this recycle part of life that they go through? Do they remember the past life, or is it just like they're literally a newborn or something? I don't know.
But even worse is male redback spider, where your only purpose in life is to sacrifice yourself. As female redbacks are 8 times bigger than the males, and during mating they only breed for a few seconds, then diving into the female's mouth and getting brutally eaten alive to help fertilize her eggs.
Are we deadass? So, bro, he just pipes and gets eaten? Damn, that sucks. That honestly sucks. And they know they gotta eat it eaten too. They got no choice. Look at his booty getting eaten, bro.
Alive to help fertilize.
And there's nothing you can do about it.
Her eggs. Then lastly, the Greenland shark. You're born in total darkness and freezing cold Arctic water and can only swim slower than humans walk. Where your daily routine is swimming alone in the dark, eating remains of dead animals, and eventually going blind from parasites in your eyes. Doing this again and again for a lifespan of over 400 years.
Why did they get parasites in their eyes? Is that not a common thing for just fish and stuff in general? Or is it because of the slow speeds that they move on, or even, you know, their immune system? I don't know. Like, what is this?
And from parasites in your eyes.
They move slower than a human walks. That just seems depressing, bro. Like, look at his eyes. Look at him, bro. 13 to 17 years just to spend less of 1% of it actually free is crazy. That's what I'm saying. That's probably the worst one out of all of them. I'm not gonna lie. Imagine waiting 17 years to live and a human blocks you with concrete. That's what I'm saying. It can get shortened real quick by just outside factors, bro. We talk about the 3 weeks that you just have to live, but that could be shortened to 1 day. You run into the wrong human, bro, you're cooked.
The Titanic was a lot more horrifying than you thought, and was far worse than what you learned. But why?
Honestly, I feel like I kind of know that, but let's see what he says about that, because yeah, the movie and stuff makes it seem, I mean, it still seems traumatic and stuff, but I'm sure going through that shit in real life was 100 times worse, bro.
And was far worse than what
and not romantic at all.
You learned. But why? First off, you would be sleeping when it hit the iceberg, waking up to a loud bang and shake in the middle of the night, and at first you wouldn't even realize what happened. Most people going back to sleep thinking nothing of it, when only 20 minutes later you would start to hear commotion in the halls, being told to go to the top deck immediately, still in your night clothes, thinking it was some kind of drill. At this point, the crew already knew the ship was going down, but you wouldn't even know it yet, only feeling a very slight tilt in the ship. On the top deck, they would try to keep you distracted by playing music.
Bro, that's the thing that's so scary about this incident, is that it happened sudden, but at the same time it wasn't sudden. Like, it escalated super fast. But for people that are on more of the top levels, it like almost seemed very long for them to get up there. But then when everything just escalated, when everything kept going, the boat tipping over and shit, that went fast. And it's like, oh shit, like what is going on now? You know, just like how he said, you won't even notice it until it gets to your level or whatever, bro. But obviously the workers and stuff below, they felt that shit right away.
Slowly releasing safety boats to prevent panic, where only women and children could escape first. But as time moved on, the tilting grew much worse, where people on the bottom deck would start to see water flowing through the halls and rooms, standing in a large crowd for over an hour waiting to hopefully get a lifeboat. But as the clock neared around 2 a.m, and
that's the thing too, like some people probably think, oh well, I'm just gonna jump, fuck it, like they're not gonna let me off, I'm gonna jump. And it's like, yeah, that's an option, but dude, that water's freezing cold. You're most likely gonna die from hypothermia in the first place, and you can get eaten by something. Like a lot of things can go wrong, bro.
No realization would take place that there's not enough safety boats for everyone. At this
Facts.
point, the entire
that's the bad
ship
part.
would go into a full panic, needing to fight against the crowd to try to get onto the last few boats.
God
in the
damn.
panic, the ship would tilt even more, causing the power to go out, which would be pitch black since there was no moonlight on that day.
Oh man,
the tilt would become so extreme it would eventually cause the ship to snap.
Bro, just imagine that, bro. Like being on a big ass ship and it's just no light, just complete darkness, just like how the ocean is, you know? Oh my gosh, yo, that's literally like a horror movie. Like you would think you play that in a horror game or something.
In half, many people flying off or being hit by debris, and if you somehow stayed on the ship, it was now rapidly sinking, where your only choice was to either dive into the pitch black 28 degrees water trying to find the lifeboat, or stay on the ship slowly being lowered into the water, freezing to death.
That's the thing that was scary about it. It was inevitable, bro. Like if you didn't get on one of those safety boats, even if you did get one of those safety boats, things could still go wrong. So imagine not getting on it. Imagine being like on the boat, like while it's sinking, you're just like, damn, I just gotta accept this shit, bro. Like it's almost like a plane crash in that sense, you know? Like it's just, it is what it is. The fact that it was a moonless pitch black night is a detail detail that makes it 1,000 times more terrifying. That's what I'm saying. That makes it, oh my god, so much more scary than if it did happen in the day. Like, I would much rather something like that happen in the daytime than pitch dark in the already pitch dark ocean, bro, with how scary the ocean is. I once went to a museum that had an exhibit dedicated to the Titanic. One of the sections had a small pool of temperature controlled water. The pool was kept as accurately cold and still as the water that was there when the Titanic sank, and people were asked to keep a hand in the water for as long as possible. Many people like me were only able to keep their hand or finger in the water for a few seconds before pulling away. The water was not only cold but shockingly cold. I mean, my fingers were in pain from early frostbite in a matter of seconds. So you can imagine how bad it must have been to fall from a boat into that water at night in what most likely your night clothes. Yeah, that's the thing, bro. Like, bro, water gets so cold at night, and you know the degrees outside and stuff, and just, yeah, like, even thinking about it, you know, I live in an area where it never gets like super cold. So even when it gets cold, it gets like below 40 or 30 degrees. I'm feeling like I'm about to die, bro. Not about to die, but you can feel like your hand get numb and stuff. You're outside for a certain amount of time and stuff. So imagine like putting your whole body into a freaking pool of water that's 28 degrees or even probably lower. You know what I'm saying? That just seems like torture to me. Waking up from that is a real nightmare. Hell yeah. Bro, imagine like the survivors, like what they went through emotionally, and oh my gosh. What most people don't know is that the musicians actually stayed there playing music until the ship sank. They went down with the ship. Yeah, I mean, that was a detail in the movie too, I think, right?
What would happen if all humans disappeared from Earth? In the first 24 hours, lights all around the world
it'd be super peaceful.
Would start to shut down as power grids fail, leaving everything in darkness. Then a few days in, subways would become flooded.
Wait, why would the subways start flooding though? I'm trying to wonder, like, what are we doing to prevent that from happening?
A few days in, subways would become flooded, and packs of wild animals along with plants will slowly take over cities. Then a few weeks in, all indoor pets and farm animals would begin to die without food or escape in the wild.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Power plant water cooling would evaporate, causing meltdowns and disasters all around the world.
God damn.
Months in, houses would start to rot due to weather, insects, and leaks. Then a year or two in, satellites would slowly start raining from the sky without proper maintenance. Over the next 25 to 50 years, nature would begin to reclaim everything, including cities. Animal populations would also increase, rebalancing many species. The air would also be much cleaner and easier to see with less pollution. Then over 200 years later, most buildings, bridges, and towers would start to deteriorate and disappear. Over 15,000 years later, the only evidence we existed would be made out of stone and small traces of metallic dust or pieces.
It's like that one episode of SpongeBob, bro, when everything just turned to shit. You guys know what I'm talking about? You know that one episode?
A few million years later, even places like the pyramids and Mount Rushmore will be eroded completely. Then over 50 million years later, Earth will be completely back to normal with zero proof we ever existed.
You notice the key word he said right there? Normal? Us humans, we just fuck everything up, bro. We just fuck everything up. No, but this would be wild, bro. It would just turn back to like how it was, you know, I mean, before humans existed, and just life forms of just animals and stuff, dinosaurs and all that. Well, what if dinosaurs came back? Would that be a possibility? They just rise from the dead somehow? But yeah, I mean, this is crazy. The things that surprised me is like the subway getting flooded. Doesn't surprise me that nature starts to take its course, because I feel like, you know, as humans and all the stuff in the developments of technology and everything, like we're kind of killing the environment a lot, especially like global warming and stuff. So the planet wouldn't have to worry about us doing that stupid shit. And yeah, just all the houses and stuff would deteriorate, statues and everything. It makes sense. Animals growing in population because there's no humans stopping that from happening. So yeah, everything pretty much adds up. Respect to this man for surviving 50 million years. Respect, bro. You had to make this video, so we had to go in the future, 100 million years in the future. Let's go. Bro sounds so calm with the world falling apart around him. You know, it's funny you guys say falling apart, but honestly, it seems like the world gets more beautiful.
Have you ever wondered why nothing attacks a capybara? They seem to be friends with nearly every living being on the planet. But why? First off, capybaras are naturally calm and very social creatures. They don't care if you go near it or bother them.
Oh,
They're
really?
also herbivores, so there's no need to attack other animals and are basically friends with everything. Known to hang out around caimans without getting attacked, and also riding on top of them. Where even extremely vicious animals like jaguars and pumas are seen chilling with them as well. But still.
Okay, he's got something on everybody. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Those animals must be in the Epstein files or something, bro. Like, what?
The animals attack it. Well, in reality, you've been lied to. Because most of these clips you've seen of them chilling around these predators is simply because they're already full. Or just too lazy to hunt them at that moment. Meaning capybaras aren't always seen as friends.
Oh my! Damn, he ate his butt.
Capybaras
Look at him. That's insane right there. Look at the screenshot.
Seen as friends.
Damn. Okay, I was just about to say, like, what does he either have on all these animals, bro? He's got blackmail dirt on them, or he's just that chill dude, and everybody just likes him. But I guess they don't want to hunt him at the moment, bro. I think it's important to remember that the animals aren't in hunting mode 24/7. Unless they need food, most animals are just kind of chill out with each other. It's almost like a social contract. Yeah, I would say that's true, but then it just also changes. I feel like when things get closer to the territory and they're just kind of protective of that, or territorial. But yeah, I think for the most part, you know, like the things we see online, the hunting and everything, that's not what's going on 24/7. That is true.
Did you know there was a bear that fought in World War II alongside the Polish? It all started when a group of soldiers stumbled into a kid selling a baby bear in the Middle East, trading it with a kid for some food because they thought it was cute.
I don't know why, I'm just getting like the thought of Brother Bear, chat. You guys remember that movie? If you do, you're actually OG. You're not a little Timmy, bro. Brother Bear is one of the best movies ever, bro. Brother Bear 1, 2. Is there a third one? I just know 1, 2 for sure. That's the one I used to watch on repeat all the time.
And in the beginning, it was nothing more than a pet, feeding it milk and honey daily, keeping company in their tents, and even naming it Wojtek. But over time, the bear grew giant, over 60 feet tall and 500 pounds. Planning on leaving.
Yeah, don't put him in the weight room, bro. Don't take him in the weight room with y'all. Don't give him a Glock either.
Him behind until they realized they could actually utilize the bear, deciding to register him into an official military rank called Private Wojtek, not passing laws not allowing animals to travel, where Wojtek would actually work on the front lines with the Polish, helping carry heavy artillery shells or anything too heavy, saving tons of energy.
Damn, that's actually smart IQ, but I low-key feel bad for the bear though, because he's just being put in harm's way. But so are the soldiers, so I mean, the bear probably actually feels like he has a purpose, you know, instead of just like staying back to where they were.
Battlefield, he would help detect spies, since every time one snuck in, they would freak out after seeing Wojtek. You weren't one of them.
Hey, you cannot infiltrate this army, bro. That's insane. That bear's a W for sure. Hey, there's a bear. You mean Wojtek? Spy? Oh shit. My daughter has a book about Wojtek. She already read it all. She always talks about him for a week until she forget about him. Children are so beautiful. Yeah, honestly, this bear is so lit. They should make a movie off of him, bro. They probably did, but I haven't seen it.
How did this farmer become the most feared sniper in history and earn his
feared sniper?
White Death after slaying hundreds of people? It all started during
White Death? What? That it sounds very intimidating, bro.
It all started during the Winter War in
ironic
1939, where a soon-to-be deadly man named Simo served as a sniper for the Finnish army. But he wasn't like the rest of the snipers and was so good at hiding, he literally caused paranoia in the entire Soviet army. But how? First off, he never stayed in place or in a sniper nest. Instead, he lurked in the forest by himself, burrowing himself under the snow in a white camouflage suit, making—
Oh my gosh, that is so scary, bro. Yeah, I would be scared of going in any place with snow or whatever, or just being out in the open without any armor, something on my damn head, knowing this motherfucker was lurking.
Making him practically invisible, and every time he took out a few targets, he would move. He would also snipe without a scope, preventing glints, and was an experience.
Yeah, sniping without a scope, you're him, buddy. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie, we're not messing with him, bro.
Hunter, knowing all the best spots. Becoming such a threat, the Soviets began sending entire artillery barrages near random areas in the woods, hoping to hit him, and even had an entire sniper force specifically looking for him.
Wow.
But they still had no luck. Continuing to take out Hunter.
They still couldn't take him out after they sent bombs and stuff in the area? No way. I thought it was GG's after that.
More soldiers, making the Soviets terrified of the woods.
Oh my gosh.
Day, a Soviet finally spotted him, taking an explosive round to the jaw, being pulled out of the war, and somehow still making a full recovery with a total of 500 confirmed fatalities.
Bro pulled 500 fatalities, got shot once. He's like, it tastes like candy. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't know why. Yo, you guys know that stupid ass trend on TikTok right now? Knowing that a sniper is literally lurking in the forest that you're in is actually terrifying. That's why I'm saying, like, I would not go in that bitch. No one could convince me to go, bro. Like, it is what it is. I'm gonna have to lose my rank or whatever. I'm not dying that easy. God damn. Not like it's a damn Call of Duty game. We is not responding, dude.
These are the terrifying steps you would face if you got chosen to fight in the Colosseum. First,
Yeah, first, I'm not fighting against no goddamn rhino. If that's what's happening, no.
Would break down your door.
I forfeit.
Pull you out of your home. If you couldn't pay your debt, were a criminal, or even a slave, you could get chosen at any random moment. Next, they would shackle you up and drag you through the streets, scraping your entire body.
See, this is why I said, chat, hey, maybe we need to go without humans. Because look at what we do to other humans, bro. Why, like, what is our species?
As they made their way towards the Colosseum, but it gets more brutal. They'll then march around with your body through crowded streets as an example, letting people spit or hit you as they dragged you everywhere.
God damn.
You would be taken underneath the Colosseum, pulling you through a dark hallway into a holding cell with nothing in it except a cold floor.
I like how bro's interviewing. Yo, this is why we gotta show respect to Hoodie guy. Look at him. He literally went back in time and went to jail just so he can make this little shot right here, bro. This is a real shot, not green screen at all.
Into a holding cell with nothing in it except a cold floor, forcing you to stay in the cell for multiple days or even weeks as they decided your fate and advertise your upcoming
watch this guy die. You know, this is like probably not an exaggeration, bro. They used to literally do public executions
fight, and it was nearly impossible for you to sleep, hearing the crowd chanting all day and people dying directly above your head.
God
Even
damn.
at night, you would hear wild
They're playing half sword in real life
as they kept them in the same room as prisoners. Next, after all this waiting, on a random day, they'll suddenly unlock your door and pull you out. You're now about to discover your fate. If they gave you weapons and armor, you could possibly be a gladiator, fighting other prisoners, having the best chance at survival. But if they handed you a dull wooden sword or a towel, your life was already over.
Yeah, you just know. I ain't gonna lie, they came in that bitch like, I'll just be like, just kill me now, bro. Just go ahead and take me out. Like, what am I gonna go in there? You guys gonna make me fight a goddamn bull, a bear, some bullshit just for somebody's entertainment? I already know. Like, you setting me up, bro.
Facing the punishment
come on, do with this wooden sword, nigga. I'm gonna use my wood.
Called Dominatio et Bestias. Being thrown into one final small pitch black cell, hearing the crowd roaring around you, praying to fight something easy. Eventually opening the door.
It's never gonna be.
Walking out and seeing a crowd of over 50,000 people cheering for your death. And in a moment of truth.
That's like so insane to me. Like how psychotic these people were back then, bro. Like they were literally cheering for, like, you know, entertainment for a man going to an instant death, or just, you know, just fatalities in general, even at a completely disadvantaged thing. Like, I don't know, it seems so weird to me. Like, I couldn't fathom seeing myself like, oh, let me go buy a ticket to this guy literally dying. Like, what the fuck?
And in a moment of truth, the Roman guards will raise a small platform within the colosseum, being met with whatever animal you have to face.
Oh, hell
which
no.
they specifically starved and agitated. You could try to fight back, but the best thing you could do is accept your fate.
That's insane. The fact that they starved them just to make them mad and, you know, make them really go after them is crazy. They know exactly what they're doing. It's just set up for death every time. They say video games cause violence when this was like before video. That's what... Bro, that's what I be saying, bro. Now, it is a thing, you know, when little kids just constantly play video games all the time, it could affect their minds and stuff into thinking that certain shit is okay. But then that just comes with parenting, bro. You guys just gotta teach your kids right and wrong, and they gotta know right and wrong. But yeah, bro, I mean, this is I would say instinctual. In human life in general, it's hereditary. Like the violent, like how violent we are and stuff. Because look at the shit we did back then. For entertainment, by the way. Like not even because, oh, we're getting revenge or something or anything that validates these types of actions. It's literally just, oh, this is for fun. Like, fuck it, let's go kill this guy in front of everybody. Like, just because, you know, he stole some bread from a store because he's literally starving and trying to get food for his family. Let's go ahead and chop his head off in front of everybody. It'll be fun, you know? Nice, let's go.
The T-Rex was a lot more horrifying than you initially thought.
Bro, Hoodie guy, we got to give a shout out to you, bro. You literally went back in time and stood in front of the T-Rex and had so much aura that the T-Rex didn't even bite you or nothing. He just stood in front of you.
The T-Rex was a lot more horrifying than you initially thought, and were way deadlier than what you learned. But why?
I mean, could they get even more deadlier than it's already in my mind, bro? Like, I look at them as probably the most deadliest thing in history, bro.
T-Rex had padded feet, meaning you wouldn't even hear them coming, only feeling the vibration of the ground and sounds of branches snapping around you until it was too late.
Oh my gosh.
More terrifying. They had better eyesight than eagles and could easily see you from over 3 miles away.
They could see 3 miles away, my nigga. Yo. These motherfuckers turn up the render chunks.
And since they had binocular vision, they wouldn't see you from the side, but stare directly at you. Even if you tried
oh my gosh,
their sense of smell was so strong, they could track you down for miles, constantly following you.
Yeah, that's the thing, bro. If this motherfucker wants you, he is going to get you. Like, there is no escaping this motherfucker, boy. Like, yeah, he might have those little tiny arms, you make fun of it, but those big ass feet and that large ass mouth, those big ass teeth, yeah, you're cooked, bro. Like,
sometimes even hunting in groups to catch you. But worst of
groups? Yeah, it's GG's. Just go ahead and pray to the Lord, because what is this, bro? If I see a group of these motherfuckers, already one would just scare the goddamn life out of me. 3? Oh, hell no.
But worst of all, they had one of the strongest bite forces on the planet, meaning when they caught you, they wouldn't just eat you. Instead, they pinned you down with their legs and ripped you apart piece by piece. The T-Rex was a lot more horrifying than you initially.
God damn, bro. Yeah, like I said, I've already had it in my head that these were the scariest, you know, animals that we've never seen. Or, I mean, we've seen, but, you know, not like any time recently. It's not like in the living forest today of animals. Like, just look at this. You know, this is animation or a drawing, whatever, but this doesn't do it any justice to how they probably really look back then, bro. How scary this shit is. Imagine you just going through the forest at night, you know what I'm saying? And you just hear like, bro, no. I'm just trying to think of it right now, bro. Oh, hell no. I'm just gonna I'm gonna try to dig underground or something, bro.
Have you ever wondered how we domesticated dogs and turned them into a man's best friend? It all started about 30,000 years ago.
Please don't tell me some nigga got freaky with them, bro. That's all. I don't want to hear that. Anything else is fine.
Where humans and wolves were pretty much enemies. Wolves would always try to sneak up on humans and try to scavenge leftover bones and food. Humans would typically kill or chase them away since they were aggressive. But sometimes there were wolves that weren't aggressive and simply stood near camps without bothering them. Noticing this, humans would only give the calm ones more food. And since they actually helped scare away predators and even warn us when something was near, we didn't mind them. Where these calm wolves began shadowing around humans all the time and also helped us hunt, sharing the catch.
Yeah, that makes sense. This is another mutually beneficial relationship, you know, because the wolves can have automatic food while serving their purpose with the humans, you know, being a protective force and helping them scope out things that they don't see right away.
And over time, we got so used to these wolves, we even began letting them live with us, only breeding and helping the ones with calm genetics and fighting off the aggressive ones. And throughout multiple generations of breeding, humans pretty much reshaped wolves' DNA to be friendlier towards us. And thousands of years later, slowly became the dogs that we have today.
That's insane to think about, bro. Just like the evolution of everything, but with these animals and how it, you know, domesticated them and stuff, especially dogs. Like dogs, you know, the main thing. I feel like, wouldn't this be like the same story for like cats, really? A mother wolf once told her cub, if you fed on a human, you'll be fed for a day. But if you roll, cuddle, spin around a human, you'll be fed for entire life. Yep, mother cub definitely said that. That's proof.
Did you know that penguins can propose and actually get married to each other just by using a rock? The first step is during mating season, where the male penguin...
I mean, we technically do, but it's more of a, you know, very expensive rock.
Will search the crowd looking for a female he likes. Once he has a crush, he'll remember their face, going out on a mission looking for the most perfect pebble he can find. When searching, they try to look for ones that are smooth, shiny, have a flat surface, and are clean.
Okay, so they technically still look for, you know, the nicest quality of pebble, because they can't go to a jewelry store, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just go in there and order a diamond, so they look for the nicest pebble. At least they don't just pick up a random one.
Once they find this special rock, the penguin will carry it in their beak all the way back to their crush, where it all comes down to a moment of truth, at which the male penguin will simply walk up to the female and lay the stone down at her feet. If she doesn't pick up the rock, that means she's not interested or already taken, which can cause the male to panic, constantly dropping more pebbles, hoping she changes her mind.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, little bro, you just gotta stop after one time. If she don't want you, she don't want you, dude. You just looking crazy now.
Sometimes their mate might see this and attack the other penguin. But on the other hand, if she does pick up the pebble, it's a yes, where they will then spend the next few days building a nest together, then raising an entire family for months until they grow up, meeting each other again every single mating season.
Nah, that's actually really nice right there, because it started from the pebble, of him offering the pebble to her picking it up, and then they build basically like their home, or they're like a little shelter for the family that they're gonna raise, bro. That's actually beautiful. If penguins evolve, they're gonna make a video called how humans get married with rocks. Literally, why is it easier to propose as a penguin? I don't say, chat. I'm gonna just identify as a penguin from now on, bro. I don't have to spend that shit. All right, chat. That's enough with Hoodie Guy, man. You guys should definitely go subscribe. This is a great videos. I love, you know, always getting educated about things, especially when it comes to animals and stuff, because I feel like we just don't know. You know, we don't know. That means we can't understand. So the more we learn, the more we understand certain things about animals and stuff. But yeah, chat. Love you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one, man. Peace.